proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Power Hour with two-time national champion Todd Uhlir. Powered by Window World of Lincoln and Set the Bar Subs on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Love the promo, the intro there. That's awesome. Those guys do a good job. So, hey, guys, welcome to the Power Hour. I'm Todd Uhlir, coming to you here from my home studio. But thank you all the ticket listeners for joining us. We're an hour early this week, so we got bumped up a little bit, which is pretty cool. But I'm here with Harrison. Harrison, this first time I've worked with you. Harrison, how's it going?
How's it going, Todd? Yeah, I'm not doing too bad myself to get my audio checked out here. No, filling in. Obviously, shout out Ben for the ticket here. So we got some gaps to fill, but I'll be filling in on Saturdays and short notice. But yeah, we have plenty of things to talk about. I'll let you take a stab at it because yesterday was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about how this 12-game playoff was going to work, and kind of that first round was, some major blowouts and da-da-da-da-da. But, man, did we get some good games this week. So Ohio State and Texas last night put on quite. I watched all this stuff leading up to it, and there's it's going to be a shootout, and there's going to be all these points scored, and it's 7-0 with like 2 minutes left in the first half, and I'm going, so much for the shootout, right? And then next thing you know, like you turn around and it's 14-7 at half. You're like, how'd that happen? So both really high-powered offenses. But the defenses showed up, man. I'll tell you what, it was a fun game to watch, hard hitting. I thought Ohio State, just made a couple more plays, right, than Texas was able to do.
That Sawyer, scoop and score is going to be one of the most iconic Ohio State plays for years. That's going to be one where they're going to roll that back every time we get to the college football playoffs. I
Oh,
mean, that's an iconic
absolutely.
moment.
And it, I'm not, obviously, I got a bunch of clients in Ohio, so shout out to my Buckeyes out there, and they are some crazy fans. So after they lost to Michigan, they like fire Ryan Day. All my friends like, he's got to go. I had a couple buddies out there that were like, we're still in the playoffs. This might be the best thing for us. I'm like, you don't have to play another game, and you're going to get a semi decent first round match.
Mhm.
So, and then, the way it panned out, you get revenge on Oregon, right? And so I think it lined up pretty well.
There's no way Ryan Day was ever going to get fired, right?
No, but
not fan base. I'll never fully understand the Ohio State fan base at times. Like maybe I do because we kind of did it to ourselves here at Nebraska. You could argue with the Pelini era, but
Pelini and the Solich era, we did it twice. To be real honest,
so the blueprint's out there. When you fire a really winning coach who's around the 75% win percentage marker, the odds of the next guy hitting that same mark are pretty damn low.
Yeah, and he's doing that in the Big Ten. It's not like he's doing that in the ACC or the Big 12 or MAC conference where you're okay. It's not as competitive, and
or even the SEC. He's got 9 games, not 8.
Yeah, we could say that. Treading lightly on the whole SEC Big Ten thing, but obviously, God, it would be great to get Notre Dame in the Big Ten. That would be fun. Wish that could happen. I think eventually they're going to have to do something.
No way. There's no why. If you're Notre Dame, I got to ask you, why would you?
Yeah, but at some point,
have to share the playoff money with?
Right.
Nobody. they don't want. If I'm them, I don't. They're making hand over fist right now, so I don't think they want anything to do with joining a conference. I think this is kind of the year they put the blueprint out and said we were right for actually holding out. I used to be in that camp where I thought there's no way in hell. Eventually, Notre Dame's gonna have to join a conference. Especially when I saw NIL, I was like, man, now you got all this extra money, you're gonna need it. But there they go. They must, good enough boosters to get that this year, make it to the playoffs, and they don't have to share any of the wealth.
So I thought we'd see more points, but the defenses both stepped up last night and played well. And I thought, some of the play calling was pretty, I don't know if you noticed, both teams were hitting the back out of the backfield. They'd run the wide receiver screens, but then they'd sneak that running back out. And I'm like, man, that's just their bread and butter. Both of them scored on the back out of the backfield, right? And it's pretty interesting to see those schemes. I was sitting with my buddy, and he's like, why does every team have to run the wide receiver screen? It seems like everybody does it. It never works, until that one time it does. But
when you see the wide receiver screen, it's like you can be mad and say it's stupid, but then if you go watch how Indiana played us and their screen pass game, you're like, oh, when you execute it, it's a explosive play. I mean, it can be 90 yards down the field if you execute it properly. I don't. When it comes to those teams, I'll ask you this because I am curious. Who do you think had the head coaching battle heading into that one? Ryan Day or do you like Texas Sarkisian?
Sarkisian's. I think they're both. I mean, they're in a division by themselves as far as coaches go, right? They're not quite Saban-ish. They don't have the titles that Saban has, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as recruiting and getting your team to love each other and play for each other, especially in the NIL era, I think that's going to become more and more important to have a good leader, right? And I didn't think coaching meant that much as a player. I'm like, well, anybody could coach good players, right? But to actually win national championships, win conference championships, it takes leadership that has everybody on the same path, you know. And the older I get, the more I'm like, man, I was so blessed to play for so many good coaches. And, you know, you can always look back and look at, like, my high school coach, Coach Schnitzler, was the winningest active high school football coach when he retired. And, you know, you look back and you know, man, I fought him tooth and nail on everything. You know, we should be doing this. Now we're doing this. And, you know, you look back and how he got us to play. You know, we had 11 kids play basically both ways, and how he got us to play. You know, we played in the state championship my junior year, won state championship my senior year. I think I only lost 6 high school football games total in 4 years.
And what year was this? Because this was
Nine,
down
yeah,
at Battle Creek, right?
yeah, Battle Creek, yeah. So we won it in 92, runner up in 91, lost in the quarterfinals in 90, and 89 we lost first round. So, but just to take guys and put them together and not like play for each other, you have to have 11 people on this. And that, I really kind of look back at, we were pretty big, we were pretty fast, all that good stuff, but we played Scott Frost's team, Wood River, right? And they had some big kids and some fast kids, and, you know, the number 1 recruit out of the state was playing on their team. Although I always wanted to be the number 1 recruit, I wasn't even close. But, you know, so we played as a team, and absolutely, you know, 67-24. It wasn't even a close game. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. And he just you know, getting your mindset right. And I think that's where, as a player, you don't think coaches are all that important until you like exit out, and then you're like, you're on your own in life. like you don't have somebody telling you when breakfast is, you know, when you need to be at practice, or, you know, you got to figure that stuff out on your own. You become your own coach. And it's really what drew me into leaving, you know, the Burger King franchise business and going into coaching myself, is I just love being able to help other guys develop the mindset to become the best possible versions of themselves, because I was influenced by such good coaches. I mean, Coach Sinster is one of them. Coach Osborne, Frank Solich was my position coach. And just as you see, and it was a great question, as you see the great coaches get kids to buy in for everybody else, and it's more, you know, they're not looking for the individual glory. I mean, you take Notre Dame's quarterback. I mean, Jesus bless, right? Like he's not playing for his individual glory. He's playing for the glory of something else and the team. And you always see that at the higher levels, right? That these guys are playing for each other. They're not playing for individual glory. Doesn't matter how you win. Even with Tommy Frazier, like, you know, yeah, he got runner up in the Heisman, but he was cool with that. We won a national championship, right? Like, that was, the individual accolades are nothing compared to the team accomplishments. And so, yeah, it was a great game. I think obviously Thursday night, that was a great game. I almost turned it off early because I was like, I think Notre Dame's in trouble.
Well, it
And
looked
then,
like the flu game was going to come true, right? Where you're hearing reports Notre Dame's sick, like their guys are down to a lot of, you know, like it's their starter, and then after that you're looking at third and fourth stringers, because that apparently secondary, or the second stringers, were so beat up. And it was looking like that for a while. But you're right. Sorry to cut you off there, but that was like the main headline, because you even saw it in the money line. Like, it was moving like crazy. So a lot of people were buying into, like, Notre Dame is puking their guts out right before kickoff.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, and then, you know, I honestly kind of just started doing some stuff around the house. And I had a Zoom meeting I had to jump on with the client, and I got off it, and I go upstairs, and it's 24-24. I'm like, whoa, like I missed out on a whole bunch. But so excited. I as a Big Ten guy, would have liked to see Penn State. When they threw up Franklin's, is it right? Franklin is the head coach at Penn State.
James Franklin.
When they threw up that little thing that he is 1-18 against top 5 teams.
Insane stat.
Like, you have to start questioning, how can you lose 17 out of 18 times? And don't get me wrong, like, I get it. It's hard, right? But that is the worst since like 1938 or some crazy year like
It's
that.
my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah,
And we are the university of statistical anomalies. So for that
right.
one to shock me,
I just hope we don't end up with that one at some point.
yeah, like that's
Because we've ended up with everything else. I think we've pretty much taken everything. Thank you, James Franklin, for taking that one on for us, right?
uh,
Uh,
this.
but
I
yeah,
mean, how brutal of a loss is this for Penn State though? Because it really is like you got to be slamming your head against the wall. Like James Franklin and Penn State have not changed like at all. The only thing that changes is the college football playoff format, and you do get in and you get the best possible bid. I mean, no disrespect to SMU or
no,
Boise State.
no,
Look,
absolutely.
come on, like it's a lot better than Tennessee and Oregon if you're Ohio State.
Yeah.
And you still come up short to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame had to beat Georgia and Indiana, who I think Indiana is a much better team than SMU or Boise State as well. So it felt like it was all there for Penn State this year. They just had to win one big game, and that one big game was going to be Georgia or crazy world, maybe Indiana. But they couldn't, or Notre Dame, and then they didn't beat Notre Dame. So now, I don't know if James Franklin, like, he's in that weird category that we were just kind of talking about with coaches that win a ton of ball games.
Yeah.
They won't fire him, but at some point, 1-18 in the playoffs, it's kind of like Doc Rivers in the NBA. Like, you got to prove it at some point.
You got to prove it. Yeah. Yeah. It's, once again, I think the world of James Franklin. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a great leader. Penn State's got a great program. I think, all of the Big Ten schools have great programs and great leadership right now.
Iowa's shaky.
They're Iowa. They do what they do, and they wait for the other team to make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, how and once again, France wins a ton of games. And I mean, look at his record. I mean, he wins 9-10 games a year. It's crazy,
Yeah.
and it's boring. Like, it's the most boring football on the planet.
The epiphany I had with Iowa football and watching Ferentz and company is like all they realized was they're playing 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and these guys are going to beat themselves more often than we need to actually go and beat them.
Yeah,
so we just don't make mistakes. They will make one, and then we barely have to execute. We'll probably be looking at a field goal range already, or we get up by 3, maybe 10 if it's a really good day in Hawkeye Nation, and then the other team's got to be aggressive. And once again, that plays into Iowa's hand. Like they want you to play aggressive. They'll rather, the key to beat Iowa is kind of almost dink and dunk your way on offense, because they just want to keep you in front. And they're it's that conservative style of college football, and they know more teams I think will beat themselves than they even need to beat them. So that's my take on Iowa.
Yeah, and but it's been a winning formula for Kurt Ferentz, and he just, they're not going to get rid of him. They got rid of his son, which helped. It seemed to help their offense a little bit this year, except for against us. Granted, they were on their, walk-on quarterback with us. So, but yeah, I think, they have a system, and everybody knows how that system works, and they're going to win a lot of games, but they're never going to win the big one. They're never, I think, did they win that? They had an opportunity to win the Big Ten a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, they had the opportunity
and got absolutely destroyed, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I think it was almost by 30 plus.
Yeah. So I mean, and they're just going to win a lot of games, and that's what you're going to get. And that's until they decide to change the culture there and go after, some of the things that I think Rule's going after kids that are going to come in and make a difference. I think the portal's he's been fairly active in the portal and done a great job in that. And I think we're going to see it's not time to drink the Kool-Aid yet, but it should be a really interesting off season, spring practice, that kind of stuff. And, it'll be fun because my son's going to be a mix in that. And so it's always fun when you got, vested interest in what's going on down there. So, But yeah, I'm excited. Like, and what's really cool about this year, and we can go to break after that. But what I think is really cool, the 7 and 8 seed are playing each other, correct? The
That is
7 and
correct.
8 seed.
That's
So
correct.
think about this. If this exact season would have happened last year, Notre Dame and Ohio State don't even have a shot at winning a national championship.
Mm-hmm. But
So
they're also not going to put in Boise State and slide them up there. Like they almost kind of
no, I agree. But I
yeah.
don't.
So
But
go ahead.
I think the loss to Michigan, I mean, potentially kicks Ohio State out, right, of the
Mhm.
top 4. I mean, so who were our top 4? You had Oregon was number 1,
Yeah.
Texas was number 2. The actual rankings, not how they were seeded.
Yeah, no, Georgia was number 2,
2.
and then number 3 was 3 you got Boise State, and then 4 was Arizona State.
That was
For your buys. That was your 1, 2, 3, 4.
right. But at the actual poll,
Oh, you're talking AP?
yeah, the actual
Top
AP
25?
poll would have been Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and maybe Ohio State. Like, I don't remember how it all shook down, but I don't, I think
So it was Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Penn State was actually 4.
so. If we would have only had 4 teams in, those would have been the 4 vying for it, potentially, right?
Mhm.
I mean, more than likely, those were the 4 teams that were going to play for a national championship, and they're all out, right? They're all out. So I think it's good that you can take a loss to Northern Illinois and still now be playing for a national championship. I mean, because it's hard. It's hard to win in this game. I don't think
Mhm.
everybody quite grasps that concept. Like, every single week, day in and week in and week out, you have to be prepared. You have to be deep. Injuries are going to happen. You have to be deep. You can't, and I think that's just something that Nebraska's lacked. We've also lacked 1-score game wins dramatically. So so it's fun. I'm glad, obviously, for my Ohio State friends, and I seen one of my buddies today posted, the scoreboard when we were actually beating Ohio State when it was 17-14. I was actually at the game and took that picture myself. I was like, we are winning 17-14. So with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But so it's kind of cool that, we know we have the caliber of players to, you know, play with these guys. It's now, can we do it for 4 quarters? Can we, there's some of those small things that we need to fix in the off season, and I'm looking forward to what Rule's going to do, especially new defensive coordinator. I thought our defense in the bowl game looked, way more active than it had in, all season. So I'm excited for that. So
Yeah. That was I think we have everybody in place too, right? Because
yeah,
Terry Braden, or no, it was Terry. We probably didn't have Terry
no,
Braden. He's with
not yet.
KC.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's the one guy too. We got to throw it to break here, but he's the one
Yep.
guy as well that I'm pretty damn excited for. I think it was like 8 years with the Chiefs, 4
Yeah.
years as that associate coach on that position. Not the official title, but I'm excited to see what he can do
Yeah.
with that defensive line. And real quick, since we brought it up, do you got a guess on who Iowa played in 2021 in the Big Ten Championship and what the final score was?
Wasn't it Ohio State? I don't know.
It was not Ohio State.
It wasn't.
You can take a wild swing at who's the other
Michigan.
Yeah,
It's Michigan, and Michigan throttled them.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure. It was bad.
even worse than I remember.
Yeah, it was like 42-7 or something. I don't know, something like
You're even worse, 42-3.
42-3.
Game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember it was bad. So, all right, well, we'll be back here on the Power Hour after these messages. We're here on 93.7 The Ticket.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys. You'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to BeBigNow.org.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Uhlir, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back. I am your host, Todd Uhlir. It's the Power Hour. We talked some college football. Just before we transition, I want to know, text into the Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Who do you got winning? Notre Dame or Ohio State? I'm going to take Ohio State. I think they are the better team. Obviously, they beat Penn State. They beat Oregon. They beat everybody except for Michigan. And who they lose? Oh, they lost. Yeah, they lost to Oregon once. So they made up for that. So I think they are. And I think everybody knows they have the talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, they struggled against Nebraska. Like, we had an opportunity to win that game, but we didn't. So they still won, right? They still got the W. I think they're playing at a super high level right now. Hopefully their quarterback's hand heals up. Did you see that nasty? What in the heck? It looked like a golf ball sticking out of his hand.
Yeah, I didn't get the full story on that thing either. If he's just going to be all right, like if it's swollen, I have no idea what happened or even when. So I couldn't tell you about that one, but
it was fairly early. It was probably in the second quarter when they started showing it on film. They're like, look at his hand.
Yeah, I don't know if it just like kept getting worse throughout the game, like the swelling.
I'm sure they'll drain it, and I mean, what do they got? 10 days. They play on the 20th. Is it the 20th? Man, I don't even know what day it is. Something like that.
Actually, I think let me pull up the actual dates here. But let me ask you this while I get that.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Ohio State, and I asked Demorne Pearsonell the same thing on Thursday, because after we played them, you definitely saw a team that really struggled to run the ball. And that's always kind of the thing I look at what really elevated Ohio State. You knew Will Howard, he had a cannon. And once they got that run game going, like now the play action is truly a nightmare with those guys. But what do you think is like turned Ohio State around? Because they've just been stomping teams as of late.
Well, I think obviously the loss to Michigan really reignited their passion, I think, and they have to run the ball. I thought Chip Kelly, I don't know if he was just like trying to be vanilla all year, but I think his play calling's gotten so much better at the right times. I think that's a big deal. And I think their defense, when you really look at what they did to Oregon defensively, and I think Dylan Gabriel is one of the better quarterbacks in college football. Yeah. He had nowhere to go with the ball ever.
Well, even Texas, I think Quinn Ewers was like 23 for 30, high 30s. I mean, it was a horrible percentage on the day.
And so I think the defense carried him more than the offense did, to be real honest, because there was just nowhere to go with the ball. They started bringing the safety down. Like, they would show kind of a 4-2 look with two safeties, and then they started bringing their safety down to almost a middle linebacker, but he was probably 8 yards deep versus like a typical middle linebacker's 5, and that guy's super fast. I can't think of his name right now. Super good, and he was making plays at the line of scrimmage from 8 yards deep. So I think they went to the Nebraska National Championship defense, just didn't set up that way. From what I could tell from the film I watched. But I think that made a lot of it. And then that carries over. So the offense got more opportunities. They were on the field
Yeah.
more, and we're able to, like I said, I think Chip Kelly, I mean, he was head coach for how long? He's their offensive coordinator. Like, can you imagine just going from a head coach to just being an offensive coordinator and figuring out how to beat other teams' defense on a weekly basis? And like I said, I don't know if he just kind of thought, hey, we're so good, we should roll Nebraska. We should roll a couple of these teams that they didn't, but they started slow in every game out the gate. Like even against, really inferior people, they would be like, I think they played Akron. In Akron, it was like 7-3 at one point.
Yeah, the Zips put together an early drive.
Yeah.
And you knew it was like one of those games that it wasn't going to hold on, but you're still looking at Ohio State like,
yeah, like you don't
that's
expect that when they go out and they spend $20 million for their roster, right? So,
Well, then, like you said too, Chip Kelly, and I think maybe that's why you get some of the Ohio State fans that were a little more riled up about maybe getting rid of Ryan Day prematurely after that Michigan loss. Was like, I think they maybe had in their mind Kelly, but as the season went on, that the offense also was like kind of struggling with all those slow starts. So you're like, I don't even know if that's the answer that those guys really want. If you're Ryan Day, you're definitely not sweating about it now. I probably got the Buckeyes as well, though, and I think you are right. I think that defense is probably what's the bigger facet, because if you go through these stats here, I was looking at it while you brought up that point. Like there actually hasn't been a whole lot of change there, and I think you're right with that defense. And because you just had big momentum plays for about every single one of these games so far for the Ohio State in this postseason run.
Yeah, I think their defense is just elevated. I thought early on, they were staying in just really plain vanilla stuff on defense. And then as they kind of progressed through the season, you said, like, I mean, they did not give us the same look. They didn't give Nebraska the look they gave Oregon. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the defense has been the key to their little run here. And once again, Henderson, I was surprised that the other running back took as many snaps as he did yesterday. I mean, Henderson didn't even start, and it's like, what's going on? And then, we're down at the goal line. Ohio State's down at the goal line. Like I said, I got a bunch of buddies that are Ohio State fans. So, and Henderson's not in, and you're just like, why? Like Henderson would have scored there, but they got the backup in. The backup on that, it was a huge 3rd and 1 play, and he misses the hole. Like, you got to know the down and distance. It's 3rd and 1. You just need a yard. You don't need to make it, run for a touchdown. And he goes into the hole and cuts out instead of just getting the yard and ends up stopped. Well, Ohio State punts. Texas then scores to make it 7-7, or I'm sorry, 14-14.
Because Ohio State got up. They got 14-0, and then Texas.
No, it was 7-0. It was 7-0. Texas goes down right before the end of the half and scores.
Right. Yeah,
and then in one play, Ohio State scores. Like you literally blink your eyes and you're like, oh, it was 7-0. Now it's 14-7, and so it was interesting. But I think Ohio State handles Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame's had a lot more injuries than Ohio State. I mean, they're pretty beat up, and that's the thing you got to look at with this playoff thing is this minute. Like Notre Dame's 14-1. That's the most wins in school history, and they still got another game. I mean, they're going to play 16 games, and that takes a toll on anybody. Like,
well, and the sickness too. Like still don't really know how many people got it, but. It's probably tough to recover because it is on the 20th. Shout out to Mississippi Mud Dog. We got an unknown texter real quick. Bring him in here. We got Notre Dame and Notre Dame on X. We got most people so far thinking Notre Dame's going to win this one. I'm going with Ohio State, but yeah, I don't
see Notre Dame having the guns for this one. I just don't. I really don't.
I've been saying that every time with Notre Dame, though.
I knew they beat Indiana. I felt pretty confident with them against Georgia. I didn't think they'd beat Penn State. I really didn't. Although I did pick them because I was like, if I pick them, then Penn State will win, but that didn't work this time. So, so yeah, I think it's interesting. So, all right, awesome. So we're on to real quick to the NFL wild card weekend.
Some great games.
I'm a huge Chiefs fan, and I've been a Chiefs fan since Marcus Allen was traded from the Raiders to the Chiefs back in like 1990.
Oh, so you made the cut. You're not a bandwagon.
I am not a bandwagon. I had season tickets for 10 years. I couldn't even give them away for free through those 10 years. They were so bad, but I still got them every year for 10 years. My last year was Patrick Mahomes' rookie year that I had season tickets because I was like, I'm done paying for these because nobody goes. I go to a couple games a year.
And that was Alex Smith. You didn't even watch Mahomes, right?
Right. No,
So,
yeah, we didn't even see Mahomes play.
Yeah,
right.
You were just watching Alex Smith.
We went to the playoffs that year.
Yeah, Alex Smith was a good QB too. So
yeah, my last season ticket games were the Baltimore and KC playoff game. So
that wasn't, that's a good Chiefs game. It wasn't miserable. I'm a Bears fan, so I mean, I can.
Oh,
you want miserable football?
Yeah, that's my best friend. Yeah, my best friend from high school has been a Bears fan since we were little kids, and I think he has season tickets. He lives in Fremont, Nebraska, and he has Bears season tickets.
That's tough. Well, we want to spend time on them. Like, we'll just the obvious is they suck. Let's talk about the teams that actually matter.
So we got the Chargers versus the Texans. I'm pretty stoked that the AFC West has 3 teams in the playoffs. Typically, it's just the Chiefs. Everybody else sucks. So it was a very competitive AFC West this year. So Chargers and Texans, I'm taking the Chargers. I just think they're better. Texans been struggling as of late. And then Steelers Ravens, does it get any better than that in NFL football? But I think Baltimore's got too much. I don't know how the Steelers just show up every year and make the playoffs. Every year.
I don't know.
And literally, after 3 weeks, you're like, they should just fire Tomlinson. They should just get rid of him and then he ends up in the playoffs every year. And I'm not saying he's a bad dude or anything. It just seems like when you watch the Steelers play, they're always losing, but then they show up with 10 wins this year. I'm like, how did they win 10 games?
Let me ask you this, since we're on Mike Tomlin though.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the same camp, not nearly as bad as what James Franklin was with 1-18, or Doc Rivers with his Eastern Conference Finals record. I can't remember, but Mike Tomlin. So he's 183 wins, 107 losses, but in the playoffs, he's only 8-10.
Yeah.
I like at some point with the Steelers, I don't know. Obviously, you don't want to get rid of Mike Tomlin, but where is the line for coaches that win most of?
It's crazy. He's been there for a long time, but he's won a Super Bowl, right?
Did they get one with Roethlisberger?
Yeah, he got 1 or 2. Yeah.
I
know he won 1.
Okay, yeah. So
with Jerome Bettis and Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you're right.
They won 1.
I think it's just
sure.
1 though. Well, let me double check, but
it's pretty crazy. So I think that'll be a good game. I just think the Ravens have too much for the Steelers. The Steelers really, I just don't know how they limp into the playoffs every year. And you're right, he's 8-10 in the playoffs. With the Super Bowl win, you have to win pretty much 4 games to win a Super Bowl. So
yeah,
4 of his wins are in 1 year.
Well, it was 2009 was that was the win, right? So it was the Cardinals in 2009. They returned to the Super Bowl in 2011, lost to the Packers, returned to an AFC Championship game in 2015, and then they lose to the Patriots.
Yeah. So
Super Bowl in 2009, 11, and he only won 2009, 11, lost that one. And then ever since then, the best he did was the AFC Championship game in 2017. So a lot of just quick and early exits. But if you're the Steelers or if you're the Ravens, it's probably the last team you want to see right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's their rival. So it's kind of like Ohio State having to see Michigan at the end of the year every year, no matter how good they are or not. You just don't want to necessarily have that matchup. So I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Ravens will win that one. I don't think they'll cover at 9.5, but then
I don't think so.
We got
The
Broncos
coaching for the Ravens seems to struggle. Sorry to cut you off there, but it was like last year for whatever reason, Lamar Jackson, the game plan. I don't know if it was more of what the other team was doing. I think it was they're playing the Chiefs on that. Or who did the Ravens lose to last year?
I'm sure it was the Chiefs. I think they always lose to the Chiefs. Everybody loses to the Chiefs. It's awesome.
Yeah, but either way, the game plan was struggling. It wasn't even to me like a bad Lamar Jackson game. All right, next game you had, you said what, Bills?
Broncos and Bills. Man, the Bills, they're at one point, you thought they were the best team in the NFL. Now it's kind of questionable, but we'll see. I think the Broncos obviously up and coming with Bo Nix. Good head coach there. Had some success at other places, and so I think it'll be a good year for the Broncos to just get that playoff experience. But I think the Bills are going to win that one. Eagles, Packers. I think the Packers are pretty decimated with injuries. I think the Eagles should roll in that, and then Commanders and Buccaneers. I haven't watched either one of these teams all year. I like Baker Mayfield. I'm kind of a Baker Mayfield fan. So, but obviously the Commanders have a really good quarterback that's a rookie. Is having a phenomenal season. I did see a crazy stat though, since you're a Bear fan, real quick. Like Caleb Williams' stats and what's the Commanders quarterback? Jaden Daniels. You put their stats next to each other, and you're like, this guy is like, Daniels is awesome. And then, Caleb was a flop, but their stats are really, really similar.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, if you were a Bears fan, like,
he's good.
Yeah. Like, you're actually not worried about it. You're just worried about everything else that the Bears always kind of struggle with.
Can you put the pieces together around this guy?
Because when you look at the Packers, it's like, even when they lost Love for a little bit, here comes Willis. He's good enough to win some ball games when he's in there because they got good coaches and they got like good development and there's a real plan in place. The Bears have just, I don't know. There's still
leadership.
Exactly.
It's all leadership.
All right, we got to throw the break. Yeah.
We'll be back after this break. Thanks for joining the Power Hour, and thank you to the sponsors, Window World, Set the Bar Subs. Appreciate you guys.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 14th is $2 off beef jerky, $2 off ready-to-eat meals, and 20% off all candy. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, they'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back with the Power Hour. I'm Todd Uhlir, and we're going to finish up the show this last segment. I want a couple shout-outs to my buddy Dave Jones. His son Christian is playing in the Alamo Dome today in the All-American Bowl. So Christian's going to be a linebacker here at Nebraska. Will be here in I think he's going to be early enrolled, so he'll come in on the 20th with everybody else, and so he'll get to work. We need some work at that linebacker spot, so excited for him. He played at Westside and went to a couple of those games, and I think he won like some kind of Defensive Player of the Year award for one of the things, and so he's a fun guy to watch. My son competed with him in the shot put last year, and they actually had worked with the same coach, Peyton Otterdahl, out of Lincoln, and so Christian and Trent are pretty close, and so excited to watch him in the All-American Bowl in the Alamo Dome, and that starts at noon today on NBC Sports, it looks like. So shout out to those guys. Shout out once again to Window World Lincoln. Shout out to Set the Bar Sups. You can go to setthebarsups.com. We got some cool stuff there. Also, I always have to shout out my nephew, Exarban Spine and Sport. He also has the walk-in chiropractic in Norfolk, Nebraska. He takes care of my body pretty well. So I did turn 50 this week. Wednesday, I turned 50. You know, back in my playing days, I never thought I'd see 40, much less 50. So here I am. You know, and always enjoy and grateful for the opportunity to kind of, you know, talk about sports on the ticket, talk about my journey. You know, I run the STB locker room for guys over 40 that are looking to, you know, elevate their fitness, elevate their mindset. You know, and just become the best possible versions of themselves. So you can go to stblockerroom.com and see more about that. We've got got our own app, all this cool stuff going on for 2025. And, you know, it's a real blessing to be able to lead other men down this journey of, you know, and I think a lot of people think, you know, yeah, you're training like today was 269 weeks in a row. I've trained every single day. Every day for at least 20 minutes. And, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to be done. It has to be consistent. And I love the journey, like the guys that I work with that have the transformations, and not only just the transformation over, say, 6 weeks or 6 months, but the guys that have been with me since 2020 online. You know, I've got guys coming up on their 5-year anniversary with me. Which says a lot about, you know, we're a community. We foster working together and holding each other accountable and leaning on each other for support and all that stuff. So really enjoy that aspect of what I get to do week in and week out, you know, putting training plans together, meal plans together, all that stuff. But more importantly is the mindset. So we literally just launched our unstoppable 20 days to power up and level up your mindset. You don't have to do any working out. It's free. So you can go to stblockerroom.com/unstoppable and join that program absolutely free. And it's 20 days that if you go all in on yourself will absolutely change your life. Because I did so many, you don't need another training program. You don't need another meal plan. You don't need magic pills or injections that everybody's promoting now. You need mindset. So appreciate it. And so check that out. And I'll be back next week, and excited to kind of see these playoffs today and see where it goes and who my Chiefs are going to have next week. I'll actually be in Kansas City next weekend. So we'll be doing the show from Kansas City. Maybe I'll go sit outside of Arrowhead and do it from there. I don't know. We'll see. But everybody have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we'll see you back here next time on the Power Hour. God bless. Much love. Peace out.
Exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 70.